Have you ever wondered to what extent you can control your emotions? And what would happen if you don't? Do you know what your breaking point is and how to avoid getting there? Learning to keep calm in tough situations can make all the difference. Imagine how much better life could be. Less stress, fewer regrets, and more chances to make thoughtful choices that lift you up rather than pull you down. But not everyone gets this right. And sometimes, losing your temper can lead to consequences you'll wish you could take back. Let me tell you a story that shows us exactly what can happen when we lose control of our emotions. Once upon a time, there was a land ravaged by drought and a terrible invasion of locusts. The rivers had dried up, plants were brittle and lifeless, and the air was thick with dust. Everyone in the land was desperate to find food and water. In the distance, beyond the Zambezi River, there was a land with plenty of water and food. So, the animals set off on an exodus to reach this safe haven. But one animal, Tortoise, couldn't keep up. He was too slow, left behind while all the others hurried to safety. One day, 2 eagles returned to check on the land and saw Tortoise struggling along. Out of compassion, they offered him a ride across the river. "We'll hold each end of a stick," one eagle suggested. "You bite onto the middle, but remember, don't open your mouth. If you do, you'll lose your grip and fall." Grateful, Tortoise agreed, and they took off. Soon, they were soaring high over hills, forests, and villages below. As they passed over a village, some children noticed the strange sight of Tortoise in midair and began to tease him. "Hey, look at Mr. Tortoise, flying for the first time. Isn't he funny?" Tortoise's temper started to boil. He didn't like being laughed at, and his pride took over. Forgetting the eagle's advice, he opened his mouth to yell back at the children. "Why, you loud-mouthed little..." He fell straight to the ground, his shell cracking on impact. The eagles, tired from the journey, decided he was on his own. They flew off, leaving Tortoise with only his bruised pride and a painful lesson. The moral of this story: when we lose our temper, we lose control, and often we lose much more than we realize. Tortoise's anger and pride cost him the help he desperately needed, and it left scars he'd carry forever. So, next time you feel anger rising, take a breath. Think about the outcome you want before you act. Keeping your cool won't just keep you grounded. It can prevent you from making mistakes that will weigh you down. Life's full of challenges, but with patience and self-control, we can soar past them, just like Tortoise could have, if only he'd held on tight. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the strongest response is simply holding your peace.